to the RunnerX podcast, where we talk about all things running. As many runners know, it's 90% mental. So join Coach Valerie and Coach Caroline as we go through the mental side of running.
Welcome back to the RunnerX podcast. I'm your host, Coach Caroline, and I'm here with Coach Valerie. Coach Valerie, we're getting ready to do another virtual clinic, and we always get the same group of like 4 or 5 questions. I guess the first question is, can I learn this virtually? Can I actually get anything out of this if I'm not there with you?
Yes, and 100%. In fact, what we've seen, guys, so I've been teaching this now. I'm like on year 23 of teaching running, running technique using the pose. And what's amazing is I used to only work with people in person for years. And then we went online, and Caroline's been really good about helping me with that. In the beginning, I was like, how am I going to help someone if I can't touch them? And what we found is what's actually more beneficial is that if I give you the instruction and you go try it, and then you can come back and ask about it and actually go experience it and feel it in your run. The level of success we're seeing in our virtual runners is so amazing, due to that fact.
So what if I can't be on the live calls with you?
Oh, that's fine, because everything we're doing is recorded. And like I said, the idea is if you watch it, and if you have any questions, that's the best part of this. Like, you can ask questions whenever, I will answer. So if you miss it, you can still watch, ask any question you want. That's the best part. What I'm trying to help you guys learn is how, the movement of running. And so the best part is when you watch and you listen, you have a chance to really kind of process and think about it. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'd love to have you live, but if you miss it, you will get just the same information.
Right. Because we do have some people that are, in a job where they can't really, maybe they're not working from home, or they're in different time zones. We've had people all over the world in different time, not even all over the world, just in Hawaii, just in the United States, but in, 5 hours behind us. So they really aren't going to get up at 3:00 in the morning to come on live. So the timing isn't going to be an issue. But what if I'm injured?
That's another great question. Absolutely. This would be the best time to do the virtual clinic. And I know that sounds wild. The practice that we give you guys is static, meaning you're going to see me and you're going to do the same thing. You practice what you're going to do while you're running in place. So if I'm injured, I can still do the practice. And I always tell people, if you would do this through your recovery, can you imagine how much better your running is going to be? Because then when you go back out to run, you're like, not only is my injury healed, I know how to prevent it from coming back.
Yeah. So what if I have something on the schedule already, like maybe I'm in the middle of training, or I'm about to start training for a longer run or a time goal? Is it a good time for me to learn something new?
I would say if you're longer than, I wouldn't do something new like the day before a race, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to kind of have that in thought. But one of the things that's so exciting about what we teach you guys is that there is an immediate feeling that we get. People will always come back from their first, tryout, if you will, when they take it, and they always feel like, okay, this feels better. Like, I understand why this makes sense for my running. So we've had a lot of people, as you know, come through our RunnerX program and still do their event. And what I always tell people, it's like, if you're at least 3 to 6 weeks out from your race, you'll fine. If your race is this weekend, what I would do is still take the clinic, right? Because why not? Mm-hmm. However, one of the things, it's like anything else, we want people to be patient with their practice. And the fun part, though, is that all I'm giving you is an ability to have a thought while you're running of how to be a little bit more efficient. And ultimately, that has helped so many people more than not. So absolutely take it if you have a race coming up, just not the night before.
Yeah. Okay. So one last question. We do allow for people to join us in our VIP, which allows them to have you watch them run. What is the benefit of me actually sending in my video and having you give me a gait analysis?
Well, the best part of having your gait analysis is more specific for you. So we can see what's going on right now in your run. And then you will know, like, this is really neat. When you have something like an injury or you're not where you want to be in your run. So usually a lot of people are trying to treat the symptom. No, I'm sorry, not the symptom, the area of pain. So say you have a knee injury and you're like, stretching my quad, I'm doing these stretches, I'm doing my clamps, I'm doing these exercises. However, it may not be the knee at all.
Right.
For the running, it may really be that while you're running, you're doing an action that is actually causing more stress to the knee. So when we reduce the stress to the knee, to the shin, to the foot, to wherever your whole body, you can see, wow, here's where I could be, or I need to be really in my running. Here's where I am right now. And then I always tell people, here's where you can get to. So you have a baseline and you kind of know what's going on. It's really powerful because until you understand kind of what you were doing for your movement, it's not as helpful. I always tell people, like to try to change something when you don't know what you were doing before.
So basically, guys, time, we are recording it for you. If you have a race, don't worry, we got you covered. If you're injured, we got you covered. And if you've been following us for a little while or a long while, and you're like, God, I would love a chance to work with Coach Valerie, but I can't get to Dallas, or, timing never works for me. She only does it a couple times a year. This is an opportunity for you to get her to watch you run, to actually send it in. That's something that we don't usually do outside of our main group once you get into it. So take advantage of this possibility of like having her watch you run. Let us work with you. Let's see if we can make that little tweak that can actually get you running pain-free. That's our hope and that's our goal. And we hope you'll join us in the 321 Run virtual clinic. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us on the RunRx podcast. If you'd like to know more, join us at www.runrx.fit. And if you have additional questions that you'd like answered on the podcast, email us at support@runrx.fit.